almost done. Okay. Yeah, I guess I could share my mobile game. The nice thing about it is because I'm running an auto script. I don't have to do anything with it. Aside maybe refresh stamina once just to get another run in, but other than that, let's see if this works out. Can I? Yep. Good enough. Alright, can I... whatever. It's like, can I not capture the mouse? But, yeah, it's like... Trying to grind for character equipment. It's like... just need to get a couple more items and I never have to do this particular set again. I was actually messing around with modded 1.4 Terraria. It's like, okay, nice. They actually have a Kingdom Hearts mod. Fun. Admittedly, a bit easy to farm for item experience with the 1,000 Heartless raid. But whatever.
Get ready for the ultimate. Maritime Bay Tour!
Actually, I'll be right back. Okay.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast. Girlfriends who return to business after the Seafield recent.
Yeah, so the Sunday time slot, that's my bad. So basically what happened was well, it all started Thursday night. Went to bed just fine, and then proceeded to wake up about what felt like every 20 minutes onwards till about 7 in the morning. And I think I got maybe about 2 solid hours of sleep. So yeah, not off to a good start. So yeah, as you can imagine, I wasn't feeling too great. Temperature was a bit high, not like complete fever range, but like it got up to like mid 99s at one point. And I got the whole full body chills. Stomach wasn't really agreeing with me. It's like I couldn't even eat my dinner that night. I actually ended up going home from work early. Then yesterday happened. It's like, yeah, stomach was still a little on the uneasy side, so it's like, just to be safe, I decided to just chill yesterday. Now just rest up and all that stuff. So yeah, that's basically why we're doing this on Sunday as opposed to the usual, I say usual, the Saturday time slot. Yeah. That was not fun. But yeah, for the rest of the week, let's see now. Monday and Tuesday, sinus issues. Although I did try out the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew. From what I can tell, it's kind of a ginger flavor. Like stronger ginger than the gingerbread Mountain Dew. Has a really nice kick to it. Yeah, that was good.
I can't really mention blowing your nose though, because whenever something reactive comes about liquids usually build up, and I have to find a tissue.
Yeah. And then, of course, Wednesday and Thursday, work as usual. Only thing different about Thursday, aside from the sleep issues, was I got to try the was it like a Oreo dirt cake blizzard. That was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, I did manage to record my reaction to the latest Pony episode. Did that a couple hours ago. I also picked up the final issue of the My Little Pony Generations comic and put in my subscription for the new comic series coming up. So yeah, got all of that set up. But yeah, today feeling much better. We finally got around to washing the dog. Yay! It took us like 4 months just for the stars to align for everything to go right. In other words, it wasn't cold, raining, and or hailing this week. So much dog hair. Yeah, I also helped out with the yard, and as a reward for doing all that, I was treated to some nice German food. Yeah, I hit up Gustav's down the road. Got some nice chicken Jaeger schnitzel. really good. But yeah. Also did some shopping for next weekend since I'm gonna be over at my aunt's house watching the dog that next weekend. So yeah, slight warning, audio quality on my end's probably gonna take a bit of a dip. Cause yeah, laptop microphone. I mean, I could try to, maybe we'll see. I'll see about maybe carting my Blue Yeti over. Eh, hopefully, I have a spare. What was it? Micro USB. I don't know. I'll have to look around. But yeah. So I'll be. Actually, maybe I'll bring my. I might be able to bring my second monitor over, so I still might be able to do a dual monitor setup. We'll see. But yeah, the only other noteworthy thing is I'm actually at the apartment by myself this weekend. Actually, till about Wednesday. Yeah, my cousin and his girlfriend are up in Seattle to go see Mystery Skulls. And, do the whole exploring Seattle thing that they like to do. So yeah. Don't have to worry about waking anyone up. Anyone waking me up. Aside from maybe the downstairs neighbors. And all I have to really worry about is dishes and feeding and watering the lizard. Which, I mean, simple enough. But yeah. So, I think that's everything for my weekly recap. So,
Sounded like
how was your week?
sounded like double fortune for sounded like double fortune for the last 2 days.
Eh. I thought I heard my phone make a noise. But yeah. Actually, maybe I'll do some karaoke tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. I prefer to do that when no one else is in the house. Eh,
Well, given that you're by yourself as well as problems we previously had.
mm-hmm. But yeah, now I know that if I'm suffering from sleep deprivation induced sickness, I should just go back to bed. Worst case scenario, not worst case scenario. Worst case scenario of me going to work is I just have to buy dinner. Uh, uh, yeah.
So it turns out my day trip didn't, well, had to be moved to tomorrow as weather in the area, at least from prediction, was Not so pleasant.
Ooh. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I put some thought into it when you brought it up, and yeah, I'm not quite sure if I want to be outside during a thunderstorm.
Yeah, no.
I amuse myself a bit as of late. I often keep thinking with the showers and sun breaks. I always swear we were living through multiple hurricanes.
Ooh.
That is if I remember my hurricane structure correctly, that the center of it is usually the more pleasant area.
Hmm.
So yeah, disappointing, but nonetheless. Dodged the bullet.
Hmm.
So yeah, took it easy for a while. So yeah, took it easy for a while. Usual Friday with a certain Netflix flick. And I'm sleeping 2 days on the sheets following small stream postponement. last week. Which I will detail much later, although I will say that last week was much later as opposed to this week. And also managed to get through a certain episode of Toys That Made Us. Going to need to see if I can bring that up if a certain YouTuber comes back to Everfree this year.
Okay.
Get the feeling guests going to be around the corner though. Get the feeling guests going to be around the corner as they dropped a couple hints. Multiple characters and having been there before. Still anyone's guess, but again, with the border opening up again.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of opening one of my highest guesses. Will will formalize that when he has collaborated frequently over the past. Almost a decade now, actually. course, I was part of the intervening 10 hours plus days, 26 months, depending on whether you're talking about say announcements or events.
Mm-hmm.
We continue down the road bypass plus
Mm-hmm.
laser G5.
Yeah, and I have to say, this was by far the most entertaining episode of the series so far. Like, can we please get more Izzy in a box? Because that was hilarious. And hey, it would save on animation budget too. Uh, but yeah, it was a great episode. Uh, uh, but yeah, this episode would be like my go-to pick to show someone any episode of this series so far.
obligatory cross company reference made.
Yep.
Though we also noticed two of the features from the movie are also still playing in that theater.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that we haven't put into the disabling process. That's led to the malfunctions.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, they really need to. Yeah, they definitely need to, like, sorry, my brain's kind of blurb. Mm. And they need. Okay, if I can speak properly, they really need to take care of those unicorn traps. Like, either get rid of them or at the very least make sure the buttons still work. Seriously, Sonny, like, oh no, Izzy's trapped in the box. What do we do? You literally freed her from one of those things in the movie. Mind you, the button wouldn't have helped the situation, but still.
Pretty much it too. Although, in fairness, sometimes it makes me not think about certain things until the last minute.
Fair enough.
Interesting position for their emergency release, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like the unicorn traps might be made out of like a lightweight metal. Because at first it's like, oh wow, Izzy's lifting a whole thing by herself. Like, okay, but Then it's like, oh, it floats in water. And it's like, okay, maybe it's not that heavy. Yeah.
Also, what I tried, and if I remember correctly, I believe works somewhat on a whole-based system like most boats.
Hmm. Yeah, it is definitely weird that like the emergency safety release button is like on the bottom.
Also, apparently not built into the streets or the stage in the case of the presentation part of the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, we got to see more of the bay. Like the rope area seemed fun. But yeah, that was a fun 5 minutes.
Good to see me zoom in, although the glass building was it's going to be a little hard to pinpoint from a reference standpoint.
Yeah.
Also, apparently someone's seen things inside. Otherwise, she'd be bouncing about in that box while she was she was falling down the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. The neighbors are being noisy again. But yeah, in addition to the new pony episode, we also got a small preview of the upcoming Netflix series. Looked decent. Like there wasn't really much to go like to. It was only like what 12 seconds, so not really much to analyze.
My department, until I get things ready. What is kind of question? What is kind of questionable? What is kind of questionable? I would just send the one to resend the list.
Yeah.
Again, kind of an anniversary, but still the pre-show message around.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
And the clip itself, kind of the clip itself, basically, and the clip itself. I definitely get the idea that the certain episodes of the YouTube series are predating, so
yeah.
So there was a point. Animation-wise, it kind of depends on the kind of depends on the shot, but I don't think the quality was that much of a downgrade, as I can still slightly make out the fur in that
Yeah,
bump close-up.
I know what you mean. Hmm.
But yeah, there is definitely a noticeable change on the visual department.
Mm-hmm. So, on to the main topic. We checked out an episode of Dink the Little Dinosaur. Like everything else this month, I had never heard of this before. So, going into it, didn't know what to expect. Initial thoughts? I'm sorry to say, it kind of felt like an off-brand Land Before Time, with a lot of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. In that, the main characters cause the issue, try to fix it, make it worse. Eventually, it all kind of works out, but if they had done nothing, then everything would have been fine.
It's almost got the post Lamberford time. Dinosaur Crazy Threat Media.
Yep. But yeah, it's one of those series that had like two different stories in like the runtime of the episode. So to give a brief overview of the stories, the first one had the characters like, oh no, these scavengers are gonna eat that dinosaur. Let's save him. Like, yeah, things are gonna rest a bit, and I'll be on my way. Then it turns out, oh no, that guy he saved was the bad guy. Relatively speaking, it's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs eat other dinosaurs, like the whole nature thing. But like, oh crap! Now we have to war. And the other guy is like, they're not gonna be happy with us. Like, they might try to eat us, but like, this guy's gonna go after them while they're sleeping. Like the flying one gets the other guys to chase after him to go after the bad dinosaur. And it's like, I mean, like, the scavengers aren't exactly great themselves, but But yeah, eventually um yeah, that I can only assume that that one dinosaur died a horrible, painful death. Yep. Anyway, going from death, now on to massive property damage. So yeah, some of the dinosaurs, I don't know any of their names, like, but, yeah, munching on some sweet root, like, oh no, there's tar pulling up. So the wise old turtle, tortoise, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's normal. Leave it alone for a few days, it'll work itself right out. So of course they do the dumb thing and throw a giant rock at the problem. Which, instead of blocking up the tar pool, opens it up. And then it's like, oh no, it's gonna go into the river. Quick, block it off with this log. Oh no, the log's hollow. Now it's going over this way. Now block that off. Okay, we did that, but now it's doing this thing. It's like, stop helping. And then rocks fall from the sky and set the whole thing on fire. It's like, you know, maybe the old turtle had a point. It's like, yeah, you might not be able to munch on the sweet roots for a few days, but at least you wouldn't have burned half the place to the ground. And nearly died in the process. But yeah, it's like, there isn't much I could really tell you about any of the characters. Like, there's a flying one. There's a small one that's not that brave. Yeah, I got nothing. Like I said, I know nothing about this series.
I have to be honest, I completely forgot there was some semblance of continuity. As it seems the previous adventure was mentioned.
I didn't even notice. For all I know, it could have been like a offhand reference to something that the viewer never saw.
Yeah, a bit of a left field there for me, but nonetheless, I don't think it. Nonetheless, I don't think this kind of show that took an ongoing story seriously, like Last Airbender cartoon and Generation 4.
Yeah. Like there wasn't anything inherently wrong with the animation, but like it definitely wouldn't. Definitely don't think it was like a high budget production, to say the least. Definitely seems a little more on the cheaper side.
There is some merit, though, as intentions were to help to navigate a world of friendship, making friends, foster positive behaviors.
Right.
So there was intent, rather than just cashing on the dinosaur craze that I mentioned.
Yeah.
First one, though, wasn't too obvious in terms of the problem building.
Hmm.
It was more of one of those, best way to describe it, stranger danger type of things.
Yeah.
Now the second one is actually where most of my memories are, actually.
Hmm.
Trench in the liquid fire specifically.
Yep.
Although I'm slightly surprised that it was. Although I'm slightly surprised that it was. Slightly surprised that wasn't. Either lava or some other combustible material. Or some other combustible material, and I actually ended up doing a bit of research, and yeah, turns out tar is actually combustible.
Yep. But yeah, it was okay. Though again, I thought it leaned a bit too far into the whole. The main characters cause the problem that they have to solve.
And let's be fair, and this is cross-company reference, by the way. It's definitely better than Scrappy ever will be.
Fair enough.
And yes, in fact, Hand Repair went through several different phases. This was kind of one of them.
Hmm.
Interestingly, though, I seem to remember the VHS as well. It wasn't until much later when I found this actually did it. Actually was on TV at one point, CBS specifically.
Hmm. Oh, that's. Hmm.
And
I just remembered, like, oh, right, I have waffles. I can munch on that after the show. Sorry. getting, uh, getting slightly munchy at the moment. uh,
And unlike last time, this series has a complete series DVD release. So
oh.
definitely something to look into eventually.
Yeah, I wish some series could get at a complete DVD release. Still waiting on seasons 8 and 9. Again, that is kind of feel like the whole thing with like pony merchandise later on. It's like, you don't really feel like putting in the effort anymore. It, they, they did it to a point, and it's like, whatever. Like, we give up. Let's see now, what other shows still need a release? Uh, hmm. And I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I know there's like a lot of series that just never got a DVD release. But anyway,
It's uncertain that this will get the stream treatment, but time will tell.
Yeah,
Yep.
just looking at the. Oh, go ahead.
The only connection this section, the only connection this has to Scooby, at least in the local department. Frank Welker as two of the mains.
Hmm.
During the viewing, I was noticed a familiar voice coming out midway check, and I was right. Jim Cummings also did a couple characters here.
Nice.
Seems I'm seeing another group of semi introductions on my part. Nancy Cartwright, whom later I would get to know as Rufus from Kim Possible.
Huh.
Cam Clark, better known for his work in the 87 Turtles cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Cummings, I think this one of the few times outside of old VHS ads that I heard about an actual cartoon.
Yeah.
Also seen Lily Dana Hill, one of the previous Max Scoofs.
Mm-hmm.
And Katsushi, another woman with a lot to her resume. Ooh, Jen did composed on this thing.
Huh. Darn it. Didn't get the item I was going for. Yeah, I forgot to mention, for the game today, I'm back to the mobile game. Thankfully, these days I have a really good auto script for it. So for the most part, it manages itself. Just have to occasionally refresh stamina and or do some inventory management. Now on here. Have those. Okay.
So again, a bit surprising at some in noticing some aspects looking back.
Hmm. So, what did you notice?
I already mentioned them. Names from a credit standpoint.
Oh, okay. Misunderstood what you said. Yeah.
Another combustible elements. Other combustible elements, as well as continuity, as well as continuity, as well as also surprisingly forgetting that they were 2 for 30 minutes.
Right.
But again, I was more used to the format when we started watching Pony Life.
Fair enough.
As we're saying, surprising. On a number of aspects. As I look back. but I'm not holding back. If I ever have kids that they want to, they are curious about it.
Right. Right. Enable that again. And set. And now the game is back to playing itself. Yeah, it's like eventually I'll get to the point where it's like I'll have grinded for all of the maxed out character items. And it's like I'll actually have to start playing the game again. But that won't be for a while, because yeah, the current script that I got going right now didn't come out till I think season 3 of the game content I'm doing right now. So I have like 2 seasons of dungeons to catch up on, which, mind you, is like only 4 sets of dungeons per season, but still that's a decent amount. And like they cycle through like every 2.5 days, so yeah. I'm gonna open my window. It's getting kind of toasty in here. Hopefully that'll cool the room down a bit. So, on to some news.
Not the idea of the forward at Bristol last week. At Bristol last week, as it looked like they had a win in the bags on an ideal date for them, but yeah, that didn't quite went. Yeah, that didn't quite went through, and ended up with 3 top tens as results, with the younger of the 2 Bush brothers coming out on top.
Okay.
And today was Justine getting his second career win, as well as second win of the season at Taldeco. Along with 2 Mustang top tens. Details regarding the third issue of Gen 5 has hit the webs.
Yeah, and oh boy, that's That's gonna be interesting. 3 issues in, and they're already bringing back some old characters.
Picture book related to the upcoming Netflix series received a longer description.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox One achievements data. Now available for the game.
Yep.
Toys are coming out. It's KFC Indonesia.
Because of course. Mighty Jax has announced the second series of their My Little Posty, My Little, My, My Little Pony Crystal Friends line. Ugh. God, I cannot speak today. Also, a new Pony Life cafe has popped up in Singapore. Why does everywhere else get all the cool pony stuff?
Got a cover for the book, which is coming in February.
Mm-hmm.
Gambling for music seems Sprint's going to be playable in Bunny Herding.
Hmm.
swear this is going to lead to something.
Who?
Well, Spread going through an art of sorts in the series.
Hmm.
Preview to that I can read Izzy Comes Home.
Hmm.
Got some more concept arts. Gotcha. I wish I'd known about prior to Jet Seed 2018. Released around 2D effects on YouTube.
Yep.
Multiverse of Madness.
So,
Not to be released in Saudi Arabia due to the inclusion of Chavez.
I just thought of a headline. Saudi Arabia bans new Marvel film due to featuring of America. Like, that's a headline that would piss people off. Eh. So, Stranger Things season 4 reportedly cost about 30 million per episode. That's expensive. Wow.
kind of makes sense, as I have seen well, through snippets, their production values, as well as a previous report, which episodes ranged towards the hour mark.
Fair. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has had the biggest global launch in Lego game history. So, good on them for that.
Slight related notes. They revealed the UCS Skywalker Land Speeder at $200.
Wow.
Taking a look, you might find that kind of makes a bit of sense.
So. Oh, go ahead.
Live action Dungeons and Dragons film to be titled Honor Among Thieves. Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Reggie Jean Page, Justice Smith, Sylvia Liss, and Hugh Grant listed in the cast. March 3rd, release in theaters.
Here's hoping third time's the charm.
All I'm thinking about with that title though is Sly Cooper is knocking at the door.
Yeah. So, Sony has a decently packed 2023 lineup with Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, Kraven the Hunter, and Madam Web. With Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 releasing at the end of March 2024, barring any delays. Like, we'll see.
Got a trailer for the Sonic Origins game that's coming June 23rd.
Yeah, like, kind of looking forward to that. Like, it has the what was it? The the updated Android iOS versions of Sonic 1 and 2, and I guess they got those same maybe they got the same guys to work on 3 and Knuckles as well. Oh, and Sonic CD. Forgot CD. That's there as well. So yeah, proper widescreen Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like, finally, we have the definitive edition. For now. which when that comes out, that that's several games off my Sega Genesis collection that's not going to be getting used anymore.
Sadly, more trouble for Ezra Miller. Ireader's being asked to leave a get together at a private house and reportedly threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female in the forehead, resulting in an approximate half-inch cut. Apparently being labeled as second-degree assault.
Hmm. So Nicholas Cage said, "quote: I turned on Lord of the Rings and I turned on Matrix because I didn't want to go to New Zealand for 3 years or Australia for 3 years because I needed to be home with my son." Good on him. Like, he's good people.
Out of the two, though, Matrix, I think, is probably the more closer up its alley.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't really see Nicholas Cage in a major role in Lord of the Rings. Like, eh.
I do know he can be serious at times, but yeah.
Oh, it's not a matter of being serious. It's that, I don't know, like something about his face just wouldn't really feel right in a fantasy film. At least not the Lord of the Rings style fantasy film. I don't know. Eh.
On a somewhat related note, we got new stills for the Rings of Power.
Hmm.
Getting back to D&D, the future's looking not just in films, but streaming TV, but also streaming TV, AAA video games, and a major consumer products push.
Hmm. Okay. So, Minecraft movie. It's a thing that'll be happening. Yes, it'll be starring Jason Momoa, and it will be live action. Like, sure, why not? Okay. Um, good luck.
It'll be especially interesting since Napoleon Dynamite filmmaker Jared Hess is attached to direct.
Hmm. Lionsgate is looking to revitalize some old properties. They're looking to develop a new Blair Witch and a new Leprechaun movie. Or movies. Like, okay. Sure.
Honestly, the Blair Witch one would be a bit more trickier.
Yeah, this kind of falls into the category of, was anyone really asking for this? Or it could be one of those cases where they're doing it just so they can keep the rights to the properties. That's probably the case.
That's interesting though. Leprechaun though, a bit more to look forward to, as I do remember hearing Warwick Davis occasionally talking about potential ideas for it. In particular, he wanted to go to the Old West.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would put that series more along the lines of Room Tool 2, Schwarzenegger film. Bad is good, basically.
Yeah.
Getting back to Cage for a bit, seems he's showing interest in doing a musical.
Cool.
More think about it, that is kind of the only area he hasn't done. He has done animation before, but not musical in a sense.
Ooh. So speaking of property rights, apparently following Amazon's acquisition of MGM, the rights for RoboCop are up for termination and will revert back to their original owners if a deal is not made. Huh. Interesting.
and so on. Ramiro and Alanis, Man from Florida, once No Way Home 292 times. Guinness World Record for most cinematic productions attended of the same film.
Way too much time on his hands. Like,
Jack's Dusty and Race have some competition.
yep. Now Hito Miyoshi and Shin Yoshida will be launching Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Stories manga on April 21st. So, you may not know, but particular Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards or archetypes kind of have like their own little story arcs that are told throughout different card artwork. And yeah, I guess the manga will be centering on Sky Striker Ace Ray of the Sky Striker archetype. Like, okay, that's actually interesting. Honestly, if we got an actual Yu-Gi-Oh anime that actually isn't about the card game, but like the different archetypes and telling a story with the actual monsters, that would actually be pretty cool.
Oh, and think of the fun Kariba by extension Team 4-Star would probably have with the bridging.
Yeah. And they could still like create like have material for new card and new archetypes and everything. And it's like that it'll bring it would potentially breathe a breath of fresh air into the franchise. And maybe have another series where they're laying off the like oh although that does mean that they might have to do something weird for like the different extra summons like fusion and link summons like then again and having a series well they're kind of doing a series right now Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens where that's kind of not a thing. They're doing like a whole completely different dueling format for that show. Kind of like a back to basics, simple kind of deal. Which for one, good. We don't need any. We could use some time off from getting new gimmicks. God knows the game's broken enough as it is. Back in my day, when it was your turn, you played one monster and then set a few magic or trap cards face down in the back row and ended your turn. These days, like you're special summoning like 20 different monsters, wiping out half your opponent's hand, and then negating everything that it can do with either monster effects or hand traps. Like, what I'm saying is the card game's gotten way too convoluted for its own good. Rant over. Actually, it's kind of funny. The Link era actually kind of helped mitigate the issue a bit by actually forcing you to use the Link monsters to actually do more extra summon stuff. But then they got rid of that role, and anyway, um,
Seems I officially got my answer in terms of Lego doing Muppets.
yeah.
Looks like they're doing mostly the familiar ones.
Hmm. Fair enough. The first trailer for the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Swordsmith Village arc has been released. Cool. I hear that series is really good. I should probably get around to watching it at some point. Yeah.
Oh, and getting back to Muppets for a bit, Cage apparently wants to do one.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Like, yeah.
Major shift for Crunchyroll. Colin Decker departs as CEO. Ronald Pruney becomes new president.
Mm-hmm.
Galaxy Express 39, another story Ultimate Journey manga. Start gets final arc.
Cool. San Diego Comic-Con lost over $8 million in 2020. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I mean, it was 2020. Like, everyone lost money in 2020. Well, for the most part.
Sadly, couldn't find anything regarding their options at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm also hoping this doesn't begin a downward spiral, because that's still on the bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Seems Nowhere Heroes is getting a third game. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox 6JS, PC this
Oh,
fall.
Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. God, Xbox's naming schemes suck.
I misread that.
That's alright. Yeah, it took me a moment, like, wait, what? Oh, right, that, yeah, the new Xbox. Or as I'll call it, new Xbox and new Xbox XL. Makes just about as much sense as the name they have currently.
Of course, that's not the only thing in the games, thing in the games, thing in the game industry that gets a bit that gets joked about in terms of naming conventions.
Yeah, fair. So it's like Nintendo has like the whole theme of basing the name off of basically what it's supposed to kind of represent. The Switch, like, you can play it docked on the big TV, or it could be a handheld. The GameCube. It's a game console that's a cube. May not always work out, see the Wii U, but there's logic to their naming scheme for the most part. Sony, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Yeah, it may seem a bit lazy, but at least you know which console you're getting. Xbox is just like drawing random names from a hat. Like Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One. But what about the first Xbox? That doesn't matter. Xbox One X, Xbox Series X. But what about the One X? Doesn't matter. It's like Xbox One S. But that could be like someone could say AX, but then it's misheard as S, and then they get the wrong thing, and like. It's dumb. This is why all corporations need to hire a teenager to catch these problems for them.
I was also referring to the many versions of Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. That's a whole different thing. I think I want to say I had Street Fighter 2 Turbo. God, imagine if they did that with all the re-releases of Skyrim. just tacking on extra words to the title with each subsequent re-release.
As well as the number not being enough with Sonic 3.
Yeah.
Secondly, in fairness, performance-wise, the Wii U didn't do so well, but when someone actually plays the console,
Yeah, I think the Wii U's main issue is the name. And like the fact that it was so similar to the Wii that, well, yeah. Still hoping they eventually port Wind Waker HD to the Switch.
getting back to No More Heroes, it's anyone's guess where Touchdown's going this time around.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of game releases, God of War Ragnarok is coming this year. Anything more specific than that? No, just this year. Sometime between now and New Year's Eve. Although, like a New Year's Eve really is Ragnarok, like say an ending, like, say the ending of the year, like maybe.
Interesting thing. The only thing I'm sure those who remember No More Heroes want to make sure this coming one doesn't have a better final boss than Jester Bat Jr.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard ditch investor lawsuit over lack of evidence. Could be fishy.
Mm-hmm. Splatoon 3 has taken over Xenoblade's September release date. So, okay. Yeah, because Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got, I guess, moved forward to July 29th. Okay, cool.
Probably launched a limited edition model of Seven Valley's repainted Toa Valley.
Hmm.
So if anyone wants another to look back on that, back on this year, other than having actually seen Toa Valley in person, pictures, videos, whatever, you have a model to yourself.
So, the Square Enix Masterline Final Fantasy series announced a Final Fantasy VI Terra and Magitech Armor 1/6 scale figure costing 1,485,000 yen, limited to only 600. That does include tax, so you don't have to worry about that. According to the first play on that thread, that's about $11,500. Looks nice though.
Yeah, if I remember correctly from watching a Disney Channel sitcom episode, I'm pretty sure yen is usually, well, in dollars it's usually lower.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, $1 million figures?
Yeah. I mean, I can't really complain about like pricey statues. I mean, I bought that at Discord and Fluttershy statue for I forget how much money. But yeah.
Card rule for JR West to return 1 minute of pay to driver docked for delay.
Hmm. Okay.
Bit of an improvement. They're still wondering when they're going to eventually address their quote unquote free education system.
Ew. Hmm.
Trying to make a shirt that's more punishment jobs as opposed to going through training courses and the like.
Hmm. Okay.
Workers' unions are not particularly happy about that.
Yep.
Rating Comeback 187 from the Strasbourg. Recently acquired by the agency runners in Ohio. And just recently got a fresh coat of paint.
Hmm.
Chance Red switching to electric power for their CP Huntington based park trains.
Hmm.
Alaska 557 drawbar fitting was successful, so that's another step closer to being back on track.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie Holtz to compose the score for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. First woman to compose a live-action Star Wars title.
Hmm.
Interestingly, though, Williams asks Kennedy if he could write a theme for Obi-Wan for the series, as he's going to write a theme for him in the first film.
Okay.
Hayden did watch Clone Wars and Rebels prior to returning to for Kenobi.
Hmm. Amazon is in talks to acquire the live-action Voltron movie, directed by Ross and Marshall Thurber. Okay, cool. Netflix plans to launch a cheaper ad-supported tier. And just wait, eventually they'll just add ads to everyone's videos, and then what's the point?
Lightyear, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Midnight are the latest films to get pop finals.
Hmm. Nice.
And finally, our controls the Scuba towards the Prince family of. Zibby Chippy, 100 Praise winless streak. Midnight Barbarian, second in the Preakness last year. Sid Mark, one of Frank Sinatra's hosts on radio. Did preface, karts racing driver. Robert Norris, whose resume includes Hitchcock Presents, Rankin Bats, Pound Puppies, Warner Animation, and Nickelodeon. Then, of course, the consistently mounting victims of crises in the world. This time, a Ukrainian Holocaust survivor is included.
Oof. So I actually posted something to my Facebook page the other day. It was a question. Basically, you ever wonder if the creators of Sock and Poppers were worried about being sued for false advertisement? I mean, could they prove with 100% certainty that Sock and Poppers was in fact more fun than a pillow fight? Something to think about. Because, yeah, it's completely subjective. Anyway, yeah, it was just like one of those random thoughts I had.
Going to look over what you just said, but you did, in fact, you did actually remind me of something they mentioned in Toys They Made Us. Seems there was another line that came out around the same time as Pony. Charmkins.
Hmm.
From what I was seeing, they were similar to those old backpack ones that used to be a thing.
Ah.
Or if they still are, I'm not looking in the right places. But yeah, you can probably guess which one came out on top.
Yeah.
Seeing what you're talking about at this point, and for some reason I kind of wish the Whammo brand was attached to it.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably wrap up because it's getting late and yeah.
Okay, here's hoping later to take out it. Well, for me. Some of our issues will be dresses. And then we can include this month with a slightly more familiar name. Until which this is well, because Max get roasted. Pray, done it. Sunshare spread word. 10 if possible. And hopefully